Bitcoin has been the best performing asset for the last 15 years, and Wall Street's basically been boxed out of it. They haven't had access to this asset.
11 plus spot Bitcoin ETFs are days away from launching.
There was never anything like this anticipation. The oil ETF, the gold trust. We don't talk about ETF launches and who the authorized participants are. This is bureaucratic back office stuff.
Like gold before it, this will be a catalyst like Bitcoin has never seen. Interest for the Bitcoin ETF is greater than the interest for the gold ETF back in 2004, meaning institutional demand is about to go from zero to multi-billion.
Wall Street is getting invited in anticipation of the greatest show on earth.
This is all on a capped supply asset whose supply flow is just about to be cut in half. The degree of anticipation for all of this seems like a lot.
There was never anything like this anticipation.
Is the BlackRock ETF already priced in?
One thing that I do caution these Wall Street investors.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what happened with prior ETF launches and how this time with Bitcoin, some things are the same, some things are very different.
All of which is to say the degree of anticipation of this and how it's made its way into the market is extreme. How is it not just an anticlimax when it happens?
Copy the link to this video, send this video to somebody interested in Bitcoin. BlackRock's ETF is not priced in. Bitcoin expert Anthony Pompliano here explains why.
Traders are on alert as we get closer to the SEC's January 10th deadline to approve spot Bitcoin ETFs. Joining us now with more on the various regulatory outcomes that could impact crypto trades, Anthony Pompliano, founder and partner at Pomp Investment. Anthony, good to see you this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So I have to just dial back. I go back to when the SPY was listed 30 plus years ago. I covered it then. The USO, the oil ETF, the gold trust in 04 and 06. There was never anything like this anticipation. We don't talk about ETF launches and who the authorized participants are. This is bureaucratic back office stuff. It's just how the trades function. So all of which is to say the degree of anticipation of this and how it's made its way into the market is extreme. How is it not just an anticlimax when it happens?
Wall Street is getting invited in anticipation of the greatest show on earth. Right? Bitcoin has been the best performing asset for the last 15 years, and Wall Street's basically been boxed out of it. They haven't had access to this asset. And so I think that's what you're seeing in that pent up excitement. One thing that I do caution these Wall Street investors.
The Bitcoin spot ETFs are not priced in. Sure, you and me and people who are in crypto and people who subscribe to our channel, we are very excited about it. There is a lot of anticipation among those who know, but who actually knows? Check out this data. The findings are in. We surveyed 437 financial advisors across the nation to gauge their views on crypto assets. Here's what they had to say. Less than half of all advisors expect a spot Bitcoin ETF in 2024. Huh, that's weird. Do they not follow us? In a surprising development, only 39% of advisors believe a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved by 2024. You and me know, and people in the know, like the experts, like the Bloomberg ETF analysts, we understand things are looking very good. Actually, a 90% plus chance this all gets approved. Yet only 39% of financial advisors believe it. However, the vast majority of these financial advisors see the spot Bitcoin ETF approval as a major catalyst. 88% of advisors interested in purchasing Bitcoin are waiting until after a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved. So the majority of financial advisors and institutions do not believe the spot Bitcoin ETFs will be approved in 2024. Yet, when the ETFs are approved, 88% of these advisors say that they're planning to purchase Bitcoin for the first time. And once wealth advisors and once institutions invest in Bitcoin, you tend to stay invested in Bitcoin or even invest more. 98% of advisors who currently already have an allocation to crypto in client accounts plan to either maintain or increase that exposure in 2024. So the thing that you're missing, the thing that most people are missing about the spot Bitcoin ETFs is that this isn't just something that happens in January. This is a cross the Rubicon moment. Crypto will have a long-awaited wedge into the mainstream global financial system. That won't unhappen. Mass crypto adoption is inevitable with this step. It's just a question of time horizon. And the fact that all these institutions and financial advisors don't expect an approval in 2024, not gonna lie, this is very surprising to me, says James Seyfarth, Bloomberg analyst, particularly because of all this media coverage we've been seeing.
One thing that I do caution these Wall Street investors is you can't trade this like other assets. We saw just yesterday about $1 billion of open interest got wiped out. The guys over at Reflexivity Research did a fantastic job outlining, saying, this asset in 2021 went up almost 800% from before the pandemic started to the kind of the top of the market.
Yeah.
During that time, there was 30% drawdowns. If you're going to try to get levered long and think that, hey, ETF gets approved and this thing just goes to the moon, you're likely to get shaken out or get liquidated.
That is really good advice. Just beware the volatility.
This thing is on a risk-return basis, it's by far the most attractive asset in all the financial markets, but it comes with tons and tons of volatility. And so if you go back to 2017, it was $1,000. We're up 45x since 2017. But along the way, we've had 80% drawdowns, a plethora. I can't even count how many, 30+% drawdowns. And so Wall Street is saying, hey, the ETF's coming. Here we go. Now, I do think over a long period of time, Bitcoin's price is going to continue to go up. We're going to have a persistent bid from all these ETFs. Another thing people aren't talking about, everyone's talking about the primary fund flows. So retail or institutions buying this ETF. But actually what we're starting to see now is other publicly listed funds or ETFs are changing their prospectus to say that they can put up to 15% of their AUM in the Bitcoin ETF. So if you have the best performing asset and you got an ETF that's lagging, why would you not put Bitcoin in your ETF?
ETFs were obviously huge for the price of gold. After the ETFs were approved, gold's price shot up, never went this low again. I think it's possible that these ETFs will be even a more bullish catalyst for Bitcoin. I think it's possible that Bitcoin does this, but even bigger. So we're in a unique period of time where any of these ETFs, in fact, every one of these ETFs, could get approved today, tomorrow, next week. Sources are even reporting that multiple Bitcoin ETFs will be approved at once and to expect something tomorrow. Certainly possible. My bet is still Monday, January 8th. It is the Monday before the 10th deadline. Any day between the 8th or the 10th, the 8th, 9th, or 10th makes the most sense to me. This is when I think the ETF will get approved. And by the way, there's so many signals coming from the SEC that these will get approved. So if the ETFs, for whatever reason, are not approved by the 10th, I would have to expect that a criminal investigation would open up against the SEC for market manipulation. Or are they exempt from this sort of thing? The mainstream media is just starting to really talk about the impact of the halving and the BlackRock ETF. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, type BlackRock ETF in the comments. If you're interested in making money in cryptocurrency, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I'm so excited about 2024. It's going to be a fantastic year. This BlackRock ETF is such a huge catalyst.
Remember, we aren't just talking about an ETF either. We also have the halving that's coming up at the beginning of Q2, and we've got to return back to loose monetary policy. Wall Street is getting invited in anticipation of the greatest show on earth.